story begins out in space, when a mysterious object shoots straight toward Earth and pierces the atmosphere. It flies into the bedroom of Josh, a young boy stargazing through his telescope, who manages to dodge aside as the object bounces around the room and lands in his fish tank. Hearing the loud noise, his mother Gina rushes in, and Josh tells her that something fell from the sky, but Gina does not believe him and only thinks her son stayed up too late and imagined it. When Gina leaves, Josh notices the object beginning to drain the water from the tank and forming a strange little whirlpool. 3 months later, near the Statue of Liberty, a large sphere drops from the sky. What appears is not a meteor, but a man in a white suit and tie, who looks human yet moves stiffly like a robot. He tries to observe the people around him and imitate their smiles and manners, but everything comes out clumsy. As he crosses the street, a car hits him hard and the driver turns out to be Gina. She rushes over in a panic to apologize, but the man stands up as if he feels no pain at all, even though his body just took a heavy blow. The truth is that this man is not human, but a human-like spaceship. Inside his body is an entire crew of tiny aliens who control him, and they look like humans but are very small, and each is called by a number on their uniform. The leader is the captain, and the ship is built in the image of his face. Because he needs a name to communicate with humans, the captain later chooses the name Dave. Every movement, word, and expression of Dave is controlled by the crew inside. The aliens come from a planet called Nil, and they need an energy source made from sea salt to save their home. The sphere that once fell into Josh's room is the device that collects the salt. Because it went missing on Earth, the captain has to bring the ship Dave down to find it again, since without the sphere, they cannot gather enough energy to return to Nil. However, using this device on Earth's ocean could cause serious consequences, something that at first not everyone in the crew cares about. After the accident, Gina still believes she hurt Dave, so she invites him to her home for coffee to apologize. Inside the ship, everyone is extremely tense because this is the first time they have spoken with a human, and at first the sound comes out too loud and bothers Gina and Josh, but the crew quickly adjusts it. In Gina's house, Dave sees a photo of Josh holding the very sphere they are searching for, so the captain immediately knows the target is with Josh and looks for a way to get close to the boy. Dave leaves Gina's house to find Josh, but his overly formal look draws attention from passers-by, so the captain orders a change of clothes to blend in better. The crew takes Dave into a clothing store, but because they are not yet used to controlling the body in everyday situations, they get Dave tangled in the clothes and make a mess of the shop. After a clerk helps him pick an outfit, Dave uses a scanner to copy money for payment, then continues on his way to find Josh. At school, Josh is holding the sphere when a boy who is a known bully steals it from him. Dave comes to the classroom and talks with Josh, and when he learns the sphere has been taken, he needs Josh to lead him to it. The two head to a place the other boy often visits, but before they can find him, a robbery breaks out. 2 armed men storm into a store, force everyone to the floor and demand the money. Dave does not understand the threat, so he just stands there watching them. When one of the robbers tries to hit Dave, the ship responds with strength far beyond a human's. Dave easily blocks the punch, throws the robber into a pile of soda, and then bends the barrel of the other man's gun, and the 2 robbers panic and run away. Josh witnesses everything and is deeply impressed, convinced that Dave is someone special, and he invites Dave to stay at his home until they find the sphere. Although number 2 objects, believing they should not get close to humans, the captain agrees because they need Josh as their guide. At home, Josh sees Dave play video games incredibly well with just one hand, which makes him admire Dave even more. When Gina returns and hears her son say Dave saved him, she sincerely thanks him and then invites him to dinner. During the meal, Dave sees a heart shape on the wall and asks what it means. Gina explains that it is a symbol of love, the most important human emotion, one that can make people care for and sacrifice for each other. This is very foreign to the crew, but the explanation begins to affect the captain. At the same time, 2 officers named Dooley and Knox investigate the spot where Dave landed near the Statue of Liberty. The mark left behind looks like a human face, which makes Dooley suspect that a human-like alien has appeared in the city. His superiors do not believe the theory, but Dooley secretly has the sketch of the face published in the paper to search for clues, and because of this, the police begin to get closer to Dave. That night, Dave meets a homeless man who does not know he is a spaceship and only sees him standing in the street, so he gives Dave his one and only blanket. That simple act of kindness moves the aliens. When Dave switches into rest mode, the captain and number 3 stay awake to learn more about humans. They watch the film It's a Wonderful Life and are stirred by its story of love, sacrifice, and family. The bond between the captain and number 3 also starts to grow clearer. The next morning, the captain discovers that the ship's energy will only last a short while, which makes finding the sphere urgent. But Gina and Josh want to take Dave out to show him human life. The captain agrees, both because he wants to understand people and because he needs to stay near Josh. At the amusement park, Dave enters a hot dog eating contest and wins thanks to his mechanical body. Following number 3's suggestion, he gives the prize to Gina, which makes her very happy. At the park, Josh runs into the boy who took the sphere. He gathers his courage to demand it back, but the other boy picks a fight. Dave appears just in time, stops the bully from hurting Josh, and recovers the sphere. At this point, the main mission seems complete, yet the captain does not want to leave right away and wants to stay longer to observe human emotions. Number 2 grows more and more annoyed, believing the captain has forgotten the mission to save Planet Neal. Dave then joins a ball-throwing game at the park. Because the crew controls it too hard, the ball bounces back and strikes Dave's head, shutting down the entire ship for a time. Dave is taken to the hospital, where the doctors cannot find a heartbeat and use electric shocks to revive him. Those shocks accidentally recharge the ship, waking Dave and leaving him even stronger than before. Before leaving the hospital, the captain invites Gina and Josh to dinner. To number 2, this is proof the captain is letting personal feelings override the mission. At a Cuban restaurant, Dave dines with Gina and Josh, and Gina pulls him onto the dance floor while the crew fumbles to control Dave's body to move with the music. Number 4 helps everyone coordinate better, turning the moment into a fun evening. As the captain gradually feels human joy and affection, number 2 secretly gathers a group of rebellious members. He believes humans are only an obstacle, and that taking the salt must come first at any cost. Trouble strikes when Dooley and Knox come to the restaurant, recognize Dave from the sketch, and take him to the police station. Outside, the police try to question Dave to learn who he is. Inside the ship, number 2 seizes the chance to launch a coup. He overpowers the captain, takes the cockpit, and declares himself the new commander. From here, Dave no longer acts on the captain's will, but is controlled by the aggressive number 2. Number 2 orders Dave to use his energy weapon to blast through the wall of the police station. When the police open fire, the ship activates a protective shield and takes no damage. The standoff throws everyone into panic. In the chaos, a frightened number 17 falls out of the ship through Dave's ear and lands in Dooley's coffee cup. Dooley discovers this tiny alien, hears the whole truth, and understands that Dave is not simply a troublemaker. Under number 2, Dave leaves the police station and ignores Gina and Josh even as they try to reach him. He wants to go to the Statue of Liberty to throw the sphere into the sea and start the salt collection process for Planet Neal. But this plan would create a massive whirlpool that threatens life on Earth. Some members object because they understand the consequences, but number 2 does not care whether humans live or die. To him, only Planet Neal matters. Meanwhile, number 3 frees the captain from his cell, and the 2 try to retake control but are caught by number 2's followers. Number 2 orders them thrown out of the ship through Dave's nose. Because they are so tiny in the vast city of New York, they have to flee from basketballs, dogs, cars, and many other dangers. In the end, a wind-blown plastic bag carries them after Dave, and after hitting a bus, they luckily land on Dave's shoe and climb back inside. Dave reaches the Statue of Liberty, and Gina, Josh, Dooley, Knox, and number 17 follow him there. Number 2 prepares to throw the sphere into the sea, but the captain and number 3 reach the engine room in time and activate a backup control system to stop Dave's hand. The 2 sides struggle fiercely, which makes the sphere fall into the water. Right away, it creates a giant whirlpool and begins sucking up the seawater. A global disaster seems about to happen. The captain returns to the cockpit and calls on the crew to come to their senses. By now, many have seen number 2 go too far, so they turn back to support the captain. They subdue number 2 and take back control of Dave, but the sphere is still working beneath the sea. The only way to stop it is to use all of the ship's remaining energy to pull the sphere back up. which means they may lose their chance to return to Planet Nil. Faced with this hard choice, the captain and the crew decide to save Earth. All of their energy is channeled into Dave's left arm, creating a strong pull to draw the sphere out of the whirlpool. Dave retrieves the device and throws it out into space, ending the threat of destruction. After that act, the ship is nearly drained of energy and stands motionless, with no ability to protect itself. Gina, Josh, Dooley, and Knox run to Dave. Because he does not yet understand the situation, Knox still points his gun at Dave, who no longer has a shield. Josh remembers how the doctors used electric shocks to revive Dave at the hospital. He quickly uses the police's electric device to deliver a strong shock to Dave, and that power recharges the ship so Dave comes back to life while the crew rejoices at being saved just in time. The captain opens a hatch in Dave's mouth and for the first time meets the humans who helped him in person. He explains that they come from Planet Nil and come to Earth to find the energy sphere, but in the end he understands that they cannot save their home by destroying another world. He thanks Josh for his courage, thanks Gina for helping him understand love, and admits his feelings for number 3. Number 17 also returns, completing the team. Before finding Josh, Dave keeps observing human behavior to learn how to fit in. He squeezes into a family's photo, imitates the smile of a stranger, and handles social situations in a mechanical way. These scenes show that the crew does not yet understand the human world, but they also help the crew slowly realize that people are not just data or obstacles to the mission. Inside the ship, each part of Dave corresponds to a control area, from the cockpit to the repair system, the weapons in the unit that creates expressions. This means every decision the captain makes directly affects how Dave behaves on the outside. When the captain begins to grow curious about Gina, Josh, and Love, the whole crew is drawn into the conflict between duty and emotion. The relationship between Dave and Gina's family becomes an important turning point. Josh sees Dave as a strong friend who always protects him, while Gina sees in Dave a naive and sincere nature. Through ordinary moments like having dinner, going to the park, and talking together, the captain understands that Earth is not a meaningless place that can be sacrificed to save Nil. Number 2 represents the opposite view. He always sees humans as lowly creatures and Earth as nothing but a resource. The captain's growing softness convinces him that the mission is failing. Because of this, Number 2's rebellion is not only a fight for command, but also a clash between newly formed compassion and a cold mindset that puts its own planet's interests above all else. When the sphere falls into the sea and creates the whirlpool, the consequences of the original plan become clear. If Number 2 had succeeded, Earth would have been destroyed just so Nil could gain more energy. This very moment forces the entire crew to choose, to keep following the old mission or to accept losing their way home in order to save the people they have just learned to understand. After the final recharge, Dave is no longer just a mission machine. To the captain, the ship's body has become a bridge between two worlds. Josh helps him see the courage of an ordinary child, while Gina helps him understand why people can trust and protect others they have only just met. Because of this, the decision to save Earth becomes a willing choice rather than an accident outside the plan. As the crew prepares to leave, the FBI suddenly appears and uses a net to capture Dave. With no time left to explain, the captain orders the escape pod in the foot to activate. One of Dave's feet breaks off like a rocket and carries the whole crew off Earth to return to Planet Nil. Gina and Josh stand below, happily waving goodbye. The adventure ends as Josh loses a strange friend, while the captain learns his greatest lesson, that life, love, and compassion are just as important as the mission to save one's home.